Hi everyone. Today we're looking at the present perfect continuous. We use this tense to talk about actions or situations that started in the past and are still happening now, or have just stopped but are connected to the present. For example, we've all been wondering what to get Tony for his birthday, and we just can't decide. Here, the action of wondering started earlier and might either continue up to now or it has just stopped. We also use it in time clauses such as when, as soon as, before, after, until, and while, when talking about the future, like, I won't take my driving test until I've been having lessons for at least 2 months. That means the driving test will happen after having courses for a minimum of 2 months. Now, let's compare it to the present perfect simple. We usually use the present perfect simple to talk about a number of completed actions or results, such as, I've written 2 essays this week. On the other hand, we use the present perfect continuous to emphasize the duration of an action, especially when we want to show it has been ongoing. For example, using the present perfect simple, we might say, I've worked here for 5 years, stating a fact. But when we say, I've been working here for 5 years, using the present perfect continuous, we highlight how long it has been happening and suggest it is still continuing. We also use specific words and phrases with this tense, such as since, like, I've been learning Spanish since January. For, like, she's been working at the hospital for 6 years. Just, for instance, we've just been talking about you. And expressions like all day or all week to show the time period. For example, I've been studying all day, or, she's been feeling tired since Monday. Now let's talk about stative and non-stative uses of verbs. These are verbs that describe states rather than actions when they're used in simple tenses, not in continuous tenses. Stative verbs often refer to things like communication, thinking, emotions, senses, existence, possession, and other states. For example, for communication, we use verbs like agree, deny, or disagree. For thinking, we have verbs such as believe, know, imagine, realize, think, and understand. For existence, we use be and exist. When we talk about emotions, we use verbs like love, like, hate, prefer, trust, or want. Verbs related to perception include see, hear, smell, taste, look, and notice. For possession and relationships between things, we use verbs like belong, own, contain, and depend. There are also a few other verbs such as deserve and matter. However, many of these verbs can also be used in continuous forms if they describe actions rather than states. For example, the verb think can be stative when it means believe, as in, I think it's important to know how to use a computer. But it can also be an action when it means consider, as in, I'm thinking about going on a computer course. The same happens with verbs like look, feel, have, and see. So, when a verb describes a state, we use the simple tense, but when it shows an action, we can use the continuous form. By the way, appeal means to attract, despise means to hate, envy means to feel jealousy, pity means to feel sorry for someone, lack means there is less of something or none at all, to owe someone means you are expected to return a favor or repay them, and vice versa when someone owes you. To suit means to be appropriate for, or to fit well with someone or something, and weigh is similar to measure, but it specifically refers to finding out the weight of something, either objectively by its mass or figuratively by its level of importance.